Hey, what is up everybody and welcome back to another video. Alright, so we are going to go through what did I think of Tokyo Revengers. Okay, now I've literally just finished the last episode of the first season and it ended on such a goddamn cliffhanger. I'm baffled. If they don't renew it, I haven't checked, but if they don't renew it for a second season, I am going to be absolutely devastated because I need to know. I mean, I'll just read the manga, but I need to know what happens. Oh, it's so good. Okay, so quickly go through. If you don't know what Tokyo Revengers is, I'm going to quickly go through the synopsis as I always do at the beginning of these episodes, and yeah, see if you want to go through it. Because honestly, I would highly recommend watching it. I really would. All right, so basically, the main character is this guy called Takemichi. So in the first episode, because this isn't spoilers, it's literally the beginning of the first episode, he gets pushed onto the train tracks. Okay, and a train is about to hit him. And then all of a sudden he wakes up. It's 12 years ago. What is going on? Okay, so it's 12 years in the past and he doesn't know what's going on. And he's just found out that his ex-girlfriend from 12 years ago, Hinata, she died. This whole like big gang ended up like being the cause of her death. So anyways, he's back in the past and he sees Hinata again. So he goes over and he talks to her. And he says Hinata's little brother, and he kind of like, saves him from a couple of bullies that are just being twats. And he shakes his brother's hand, Hinata's brother's hand, and all of a sudden, he's back in the future. Well, in the present. And, that's kind of how he figures out if he shakes Hinata's brother's hand. I don't know why it's that, I don't know if that comes about later on, but if he shakes their hand, he jumps 12 years in the past to the day that he went back. So if it's November 12th, 2017, he'll go back to, I think it's November 12th, 2005 or whatever it is. Nuts. Okay, I didn't realize, because when I went to the show, I knew it was about gangsters, but I had no idea it was about time travel. I knew nothing about the show. It's one of the shows that I've actually managed to not get spoilers for. Would highly recommend not getting spoilers, by the way. Makes the show so much better. So, yeah, so basically, he when he goes back, the present's changed a little bit. And he figures out that, if he goes back and he does something, it's like the butterfly effect. He stops a certain thing from happening, so when he goes into the future, something's changed. So he's trying to save Hinata. That's his main goal. He wants to save Hinata. And along the way, obviously, he kind of wants to save other people because, like, different stuff happens where if he goes back, he'll change something that obviously didn't happen in his timeline. Then when he goes to the present, all of a sudden, obviously, it's changed, and he's trying to basically set everything so when he goes back to the future, the present, it's a good timeline where Hinata's still alive, where, he's still friends with all of the friends that he was with. I'm trying not to get too much, I'm trying to give you the synopsis without spoiling it for you, but that's the basic premise. Okay, so he's just going back and forth, trying to create a timeline where, Hinata's still alive, he has a good life, and, everything's happy. So many times does he go back and forth, like to the future and to the past and the present. Sorry, and honestly, I can't I'm trying not to spoil it for anyone, but honestly, I couldn't recommend it highly enough. And not one episode that I watched where I was like, oh, this is kind of a boring episode. Nothing's really happened. Even the beginning of the show where they're just kind of trying to establish all of the main characters, they're all great, like in their own way, like. When I knew about Mikey because I'd think those TikTok reels that go around where it's like such and such anime character versus another anime character, and Mikey's always on there, even though the rest of them are like Naruto and Goku. Mikey's strong in his world, but at the end of the day, he's just a human. He's just a normal guy. So there's no way he's gonna fight against Naruto, who can punch people into mountains. Or Goku, who rattled the universe with a punch, with a gliding punch. You know what I mean? Like, he's never going to defeat them, but he is strong in his world. So that's how I knew about him. But Mikey's one of those characters where he was completely different to what I thought he was going to be. Because I thought he was going to be this like badass, takes no shit. Well, I mean, he is person, but he's like a child. Like the dude. Eats ice cream, eats kid meals, and falls asleep after his food and stuff like that. But he commands anyone that goes close to him or his friends, anyone from the Tokyo Manji gang. If they go near him all his friends, the dude kicks the shit out of them. Like he doesn't care, and he has this like signature like kick that he does, where he like sort of like no effort brings up his leg and just kicks them directly into the temple, and it just one shots people. Oh, dude, it's so good. It's so good. Right. You can skip probably like 30 seconds if you don't want to. It's not a spoiler, but it is something he does. So if you don't want that like ruined for you, I recommend like skipping ahead. But there's one part where he's literally being held back by someone. Someone has his leg so he can't move, and someone stood in front of him about to hit him with like a wrench, and he gets pissed for unknown reasons. Well, unknown to you unless you watched it. So he straight up like headbutts the dude behind him, and then no effort lifts his leg with a guy wrapped around it, big dude as well, and just kicks another guy, like the dude in front of him in the temple. Like he does that kick, but with a dude like holding onto his leg so he can't move it. Zero effort. Like the guy is not, he's like 15 as well, strong as hell. He's got that anime strength, because obviously that would never happen in real life, but it's so cool. It's so good. So the main character Takemichi, I like him. Like to be fair, like the story kind of gets taken over by Kraken and Mikey. They're like the two main characters of the gang. Mikey's the leader and Kraken's like his commander, like his right hand man. And those two kind of steal the show because of like their relationship and how cool they are and stuff like that. And they just always have these badass moments. Takemichi's, well, he gets called the crybaby hero because he's constantly crying, if you couldn't have guessed. But nonetheless, I really cannot recommend the show enough. Honestly, like I said, there wasn't one time where I was bored sitting through an episode thinking, oh, I just want this episode to end so I can get into the next episode. I loved every single minute of it, I really did. And like I say, I couldn't recommend highly enough to go and watch this anime for yourself. It's 24 episodes. Every episode's good. Every episode has an impactful moment. Like I say, there's no obviously it's only 24 episodes. There's no filler episode, obviously. Oh my god, I don't even know what to say. Like honestly, maybe I'm hyping this up too much. Maybe you'll watch it and think, what the hell is this guy going on about? Like it sucked. But honestly, I really do think that it's worth the watch. So much so that I would give it a 9.5 out of 10. Like a really, really high score. Like there's nothing I didn't like about it that I can think. The pacing was good. It got to the story. There was mystery of like, you know, who's like the leader of this gang and why are these things happening, and oh, I now I know what I need to do. But then it doesn't go to plan, and then like, what am I going to do now? And then he goes back to the present, and a lot of stuff's changed, because every time he goes back, there's always a difference. And I have a theory. I don't want to say it because it's spoilers, but I have a theory that there's a certain guy in the show that knows what Takemichi can do, like that he can go back in time. I have a theory that he knows because of like the end of the episode, in like a few episodes before he did something, and he's constantly on his ass. So I have a feeling either this guy just knows and now he's trying to stop him, or he can do that as well and he can go back in time as well, or maybe forward in time. But I guess I'll have to wait until the second season, maybe even the third season, to see if that's true. But yeah, guys, honest to God, characters are great. There's a bunch of different characters. All of them get really well. You get immersed in every single character's story. There's not like a boring character in there. There's some that you probably won't like, but they're all interesting characters in their own way. And like I say, Mikey and Kraken definitely steal the show. Takemichi's a good character, but like I say, he kind of just cries and he tries to do good, and you know, he does at times, and he's becoming a bit less of a bitch towards the end of it. But yeah, highly recommend it. Like I say, 9.5 out of 10, maybe even a 10 out of 10. Honestly, like I don't really see anything wrong with the show thus far. I really hope they don't ruin the story, because I've seen so many anime where they just ruin the story for absolutely no reason whatsoever. They like, you know, do like a full 180 and try to do something cool instead of just sticking with what they know, and they end up completely butchering it. But I hope they don't do that. If they don't, then the story should round off really well, and I really hope it does. and I would like to say, like I've said 1,000 times in this episode, I highly recommend watching it. But yeah, guys, like, watch it. Just watch the show. Comment down below if you've seen the show. Please do not spoil if you have seen the show. Don't comment, oh yeah, I couldn't believe it when such and such happens. And definitely don't spoil anything from the manga, because I haven't watched the manga, read the manga yet, and there's no second season yet, so I really would appreciate it if you didn't spoil it, thank you. Because I'm so excited for another season of this, and just to see what happens. So yeah, like I say, comment down below, tell me if you like the show, tell me if you didn't like the show, tell me what it was out of 10. Any recommendations for an anime you want me to watch, by all means, let me know. I'm trying to watch more anime and do more reviews, because lately my anime channel's just kind of been, you know, big shonen anime, Naruto mainly, because, you know, Naruto's my babe. And yeah, guys, I hope you have a good day, and yeah, goodbye.